yogis, namaste. Thanks for practicing. We're going to use a strap tonight, or you can use a belt if you've got a longer belt. And then find yourself in a comfortable seat. Start to slow the breath and settle into your body. Tonight I will be singing some mantras along with practice. They are an advanced form of pranayama energy control. Our energy goes where the mind goes. And so if our mind's all over the place, our energy gets dispersed. If our mind's centered, our energy starts to center within and gets contained. You don't need to know all the words to have benefit. The mantras go a little bit deeper than the intellectual mind, and so just letting them kind of wash through you as we move through practice. And so you can begin by turning the head side to side at a slow to moderate pace. Shoulders relaxed, take the arms out, shape of a T. Curl the tops of the hands to the forearms and press strongly out through the heels of the palms. It's almost like we've got energy arrows shooting out of the heels of our palms to each side. Hare Krishna. And then release the hands back to the knees. Give the shoulders a little circle to each direction. So the next thing we're going to do is called nerve sliding. What we're going to do is, this time palms up, curl the fingers towards the floor. And then we're going to lift the fingers up, bring the fingers to touch the heels of the palms. Slide your fingers towards the knuckles back down to the floor. And so we're kind of curling and unfurling. And so we'll do that a few more times. Once more. Awesome. And then again, releasing of the shoulders. A little circle in both directions. Good. So then inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. On your exhale, we're going to twist to the right. So your left hand can find the knee, the right hand plants behind the hips. Make sure that you're not leaning into one side so that both hips are centered evenly on the floor. And then you can, if you want a bonus neck stretch, you're going to look back over to the left. Might close the eyes. Shri Krishna. Shri twist. Come back to center, exhale to the second side. Hand finds the knee, left hand behind the back. Neither look in the direction you're twisting or back over to the right for that little bonus neck stretch. Hips are evenly anchored into the floor. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. As you breathe in, we're going to inhale, untwist. Good. And then lean back, switch. The other shin bones in front or on top. You know, if you can't sit comfortably on the floor or for whatever reason, the hip flexors are kind of tight and so you're kind of leaning back, you know, you might try sitting onto a block. It really lets the back curve naturally. Or if you don't have a block, a folded blanket, a pillow, big dictionary, anything will work. So then we're going to plant the right hand out from your hip, reach the left arm up and over, relaxing the head to the right here. Start to breathe into the left side body. Roll the left shoulder back a touch. Keep the side bend, keep the head, but sweep that left arm back over to the left, palm facing down. Make a fist. Reach the knuckles to the floor. And then launch off that right hand, roll the head to center, plant the left hand, sweep the right arm up and over. So we're going to start, because what tends to happen is we twist a little, roll the top shoulder back so we're nice and centered, relax the left ear towards the left shoulder. Keep the side bend, reach the right arm back over, palms down, make a fist. Your thumb's on the outside of that fist, or outside of the index finger, and you're reaching the knuckles to the floor. Good, and then press off that left hand, roll the head to center. And then we're going to make a fist with that right hand, and you're going to grab the knuckles, and then you're going to start to pull the knuckles back. So it's kind of curling that palm side in. And imagine your forearm reaching forwards. Hold on a second. There you go. I'm going to make sure Manis doesn't bite the bellows there. That would be sad. Relax the shoulders. And then release. You can give the shoulders in another couple circles. And then that left arm comes towards, you're making your fist, you're curling that in with the help of your right hand. Kind of just gently pulling. Don't be too forceful with this. And then you can release. And again, give the shoulders a little circle in both directions. Awesome. And then we're going to roll over the ankles to find table. Keeping that strap nearby, we will get to that. The biceps are going to roll forwards. It might be easier for you. Take this dark colored sweater off. All right. Biceps forwards, shoulders slide down the back. And then notice the arch in the back. And if you bring your fingers right beneath the belly button, pull that in so your low back is supported. Good, and so keep that. Step the feet back, find your plank pose. Just taking a few breaths. You can always modify this, setting the knees down, keeping a straight line from knees to crown of head. Shoulders are right over the wrists. Pulling low belly in as if those fingertips were still there, kind of jabbing right beneath the belly button. Good. And then we're going to set the knees down and re-find a seat on our heels. And then we're going to cactus the arms. Elbows are the same height as your shoulders. Fingers are spread really wide. Close into a tight fist, open up, and then speed that up as fast as you can go while maintaining full range of motion. So full star shape, full fist. All this wrist stuff at the beginning is really great for preventing carpal tunnel syndrome. Good, and then release. So lean into one hip. Find cross-legged again. Maybe go with the awkward way. And then we're going to take our strap. You're going to kind of lean over, and you're going to tuck that strap underneath the sits bone. And you're going to loop that up and over your upper trapezius. So it's up the back on that same side as the sits bone. Make sure it's under there tight. And then you're going to use your opposite hand. So we started out on the left upper trap, and your right hand is going to pull that down to create a ton of pressure for upper trapezius, and then you slowly relax the head to that right shoulder. You might need to modify where the head is the face is pointed. For me, I like to look a little further over towards the horizon, but some people looking down or up is going to be the right choice. Or staying where you were. So sometimes wrist pain isn't actually originating in the wrist, but it comes from the shoulder or the neck, and so ruling out tightnesses in the shoulder and neck is an important part of determining if the issue's in the wrist or higher up. And so you can slowly bring the head to the collarbone to center as you soften up the pressure on the strap, and we'll slide that out from under and underneath that second sits bone. Your left hand is going to slide that right over the right upper trapezius. It should be pretty taut, and you're pulling down pretty firmly, and then we're going to relax the head over to that left shoulder. And you can stay, or you can slowly navigate to where you need this stretch. Remember to breathe slow and smooth. And then you can bring the head to center as you soften the pressure up off that strap. And then you can set that out of the way. And we'll roll back forwards over ankles to find table again. Same things go. Biceps forwards, belly in, and shoulders slide down the back. And we're going to step back, finding plank pose. Keep the head in line with the upper back. So we're not dropping the head, we're not looking forwards, but it's as if we're pressing the crown of the head straight forwards. And then you're going to float your right heel up just a little, like hip height. Drive the sole of the foot back. Breathe. Release. Lift the left heel about level with the hip. And release and set the knees on the edges of the mat. Big toes are touching. I'll slide that out of the way so you can see. Sitting hips back, child's pose. If this is too much, you can always take a blanket and bring that under the hips to soften the pressure on the knees. And release. Arms are straight out. I'm going to be here for a little bit. And so just using this as an opportunity to settle back into a slow, smooth breath. Keep the hips centered, but walk your hands over to the right, finding a side bend. To deepen that, you might grab, let's see if you're going to the right, you might grab your left wrist and give it a little steady pull. Your hands through center and over to the left, and you can keep both hands on the floor. Both hips are heavy. You might choose to grab a hold of your right wrist this time and just kind of pull, deepening the side body stretch. And then bring the hands back to center. Re-rise to find table. Good. And so rounding into our cat back, knees are together, toes are curled under, and then you're going to float the knees. The lower you are, the harder. So if it's too much, bring the knees about a foot above the floor. You can let the head bow. Finding our bear plank. We're just going to hold, keep pulling belly in. And then from here, lift the hips, straighten the legs, widen the feet, at least hip distance, maybe a little further for downward facing dog. While you pedal the feet out and nod the head a few times, slow, smooth the breath. Keep coming home into your body, into this moment. This moment is really all we have. And so often, our mind steals us away into the past, into the future. Use the mantras, use your breath, use this asana practice to come back home. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare to send the right leg to the sky. As you exhale, bring that knee into the collarbones. Pause there. So when we get tired, that leg is heavy, but at the beginning of practice, we should be able to tuck it in a little closer, get that shin bone high. Curl the toes to the shin. Take another inhale, send that right leg back up. On your exhale, right knee, right tricep. So finding out where on the tricep it wants to land. On your exhale, slide it way up. And inhale, slide it down to the wrist. And exhale, slide it up. Inhale, down. Exhale, up. Inhale, down. One more. Exhale, up. Inhale, down. And as you exhale, come up, step that foot outside of the pinky. So here we are in our lizard lunge. You can bring blocks, phone books, even dumbbells. They're not so steady, but at least something to get our hands a little higher if you need. If you want to give your back leg a break, go right ahead. Breathe in, heart forwards, broaden the shoulders. Keep lifting the left hamstrings to the sky if the knee is up. As you exhale, we're going to round and start to straighten into that right leg. There is no need to straighten all the way right away if the hamstrings don't want to go there. Breathe in, knee above heel, heart forwards, broaden. Exhale, belly in, straighten, bow the head. So a few more on your own breath. You're going to flow that slowly and as smoothly as you're breathing. When you find an inhale and you return back to lizard lunge, that's where we'll meet. If the left knee is on the floor, curl the toes under, lift the back knee, and heel toe your right foot in between the hands. Pivot the left heel down, pull that belly in, and slowly rise up. Warrior one. So in our warrior one, the right rib cage rolls back, so the collarbones and shoulders are equal distance from the front of your yoga mat. Your right knee is aligned directly over that heel. Sometimes it likes to fall in there. And so finding that nice alignment for the support of the body, the longevity of our practice. Hands are going to come to hips. The elbows are going to squeeze together. The chest will rise as you pull your chin back. And use your hands to remind the backs of the hips to draw down. And you'll notice how that pulled your belly in again. A few more breaths here. And on your exhale, bow about halfway over the front leg. Heel back, heart and crown of head forwards. If you want to deepen this, arms reach alongside the ears. Pull the outer right hip crease back. Take another inhale. And on your exhale, hands to heart, step your left foot back in. We're finding ourselves in chair pose, Utkatasana. Once again, pull the belly in, feeling how that lengthens the low back. Reach the hips back, sink a little lower, the weight's in your heels. If you're feeling pretty strong here, reach the arms back up alongside the ears. One more breath in. Exhale, bow, Uttanasana, legs can straighten as much as you like. Breathe in, palms to shins, lift halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, step our way back to plank pose. Good, and so pressing the floor away, shoulders down, navel in. Here, I'm going to rock forwards, and you can bend the elbows, maybe just a tiny bit, maybe about 90 degrees, somewhere in between, and we're going to straighten back to plank. Once you find yourself back to plank, let me spin this way, and tap the right hand to left shoulder, left hand to right shoulder, and then shift forwards, bend the elbows, come down, Chaturanga Dandasana, right back to plank, tap left to right, right to left, shift forwards, bend. We're going to do 2 more if you want. Instead, you can lower the knees, bend the elbows, just come back up, tap, tap, shift forwards, bend the elbows, come back up, tap, tap. 1 more, shift forwards, bend, straighten, tap, tap, set the knees down. Good. Curl the toes under, finding a seat on your heels. Arms go out, shape of a T. We're going to wrap right elbow underneath, finding the forearms together, fingers into your palm. From here, forearms go forwards, and then drag the elbows down towards your belly button and lift the chest into your triceps. Close the eyes. Slow and smooth your breath. Reach the arms out. If you can, stay in your broken toe pose. If you feel it's pretty unbearable, flatten your feet. And then we're going to take the left under right. Second side. Forearms forwards, elbows pull down. Close the eyes. And then open the eyes, release. Again, a little circle the shoulders a couple times. And then plant the hands, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Making sure the neck is relaxed. Breathe in, send the left leg to the sky. As you exhale, shift shoulders over wrists. Bring that knee into the belly. And then finding, as you exhale, that you can pull that leg in a little bit closer. Hold there. Breathe. Reminding yourself you are strong. Inhale, left leg rises. And then again, exhale, knee to left elbow or tricep. Pausing there. On your exhale, slide it all the way up. And then inhale all the way down. Or maybe not all the way. And then exhale, back all the way up. Inhale, down. Exhale, up. Inhale, down. Relaxing neck and jaw. Exhale, up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Step that foot outside of the pinky and lower your right knee on the floor if you choose. Otherwise, it stays up there. Squeeze the legs together. Notice how that shifts the hips into alignment. Breathe in. Pull the chest forwards and broaden the shoulders. As you exhale, belly in. Start to straighten that left leg. And inhale, rebend knee. Open the shoulders, the heart. Keep the feet hugging together like they're going to fold the mat in half. And exhale, straighten the left leg back to pyramid pose. Knowing you can use blocks under the hands. You can close the eyes if you like. And just keep moving that on your breath. Next time you rebend that left knee back over your heel. we're going to spin right heel down. When I say that, I mean the toes are pointed mostly forwards, about like 60 degrees. And then hands walk yourself up. Arms reach up, warrior 2 second side. When you're in your warrior 2, if we're tight, the belly wants to spill forwards. And so you can use your fingertips and pull that belly in. And then soften the shoulders, and left rib cage draws back. Breathing slow and smooth. Our hands are going to come to the low back. Elbows squeeze together with the chest. Pull the chin slightly back to feel the pec opener. Everything's connected, so you also feel how this pulls the front of the right hip a little bit. And then on an exhale, bow about halfway over your front leg. Create a straight line from the back heel out through the heart and the crown of your head. If you want to deepen this, the arms reach alongside the ears. Don't let that tense the shoulders. Keep sliding them down the back. The biceps are rolling to the ceiling. Hands to heart. Shift forwards to tippy toes, and on an exhale, step into your chair pose. We're going to hook the elbows in front of the knees. Instead of just laying the torso on the thighs, pull the belly in, and then press the elbows and knees together to send your heart forwards. And this drives the belly into the thighs, but keep working on pulling that low belly in. I like looking down past my fingertips to keep the neck relaxed. From here, I'm going to widen the feet and turn the toes out. Sink the hips down. Elbows slide in between the legs. Press out as the knees drive back into the arms. Malasana. The heart pulls forwards. Most common thing I see here is that we kind of round. And so really working on shoulder blades together and creating that tail back, nice curvature in the low back here. By nice, I mean natural, lordotic curve. Good, and then we're going to use the hands or not. You might just reach forward and trust that you're going to land right on your hips. Let your feet come forward. Slide the hands under the knees. Rock back and bring the shin bones about parallel to the floor. Navasana. Pull the heart up. If you would like to stay, otherwise you're going to reach the arms forwards or back alongside the ears. If you're feeling pretty strong, straighten the legs. Paripurna Navasana. Shaking is beautiful. Keep it up. Good. And then hand supports you. Lower the feet. Plant your hands behind you. Fingers are spun forwards or maybe a little out to the sides, but no more than 90 degrees out. Lift the chest, lift the hips, chin to chest. Form a straight line from the collarbones to your knees. You could stay or you could drop the head back. And then chin to chest. Lower the hips. Good. Cross the ankles. Make your way back to table. Some more wrist therapy. This is going to be a shorter table with your knees a little closer in to your hands. And you can flip the palms up so fingers face each other, and you're going to try to curl into fists. Of course, it's kind of impossible upright. And so we're going to bend the elbows and lower until we can curl into a very tight fist. Try to keep your tight fist, again, not forcefully. We're going to slowly start to straighten the elbows and feel a nice opening on the top side of the wrist. Again, lower, curl a little bit tighter, and then come up resisting gently. One more like that. Awesome. And then find a seat back on your heels. Give the head a little turn side to side. And when your neck's released, then we are going to find our way back to plank pose. From here, you'll lower onto the right elbow and then the left elbow, and come onto the left palm and then the right palm. And lower the left elbow, the right elbow, come back up onto the right palm, the left palm, right elbow, right palm, left elbow, right, left, right. Downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg to the sky, bend the knee, peel the hips open. Relax the head. On your exhale, knee to chest, place the foot in between the hands. Pivot your left foot down perpendicular to your front foot. The feet should be in one line here, right heel to back inner arch. We're going to start with this right forearm on the thigh, and then you're going to sweep that left arm alongside the ears. You roll the top of ribs and shoulder back. Pull the belly in. Notice how heavy we're resting the elbow. If you'd like more challenge, take that hand to the inner thigh, feeling the side bodies light up like crazy. Last inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Flip the palms down, make fists. Reach the knuckles to the floor. Inhale, reverse warrior, hand to outer calf or thigh. Stay pretty low in that front leg, knees still over the heel. And then straighten, reverse triangle. Upper body stays the same, just a straightened right leg. Exhale, triangle pose. The hips start to shift as you reach forwards. Hand finds shin bone block, or maybe the floor. Left arm to the sky, or alongside the ear, or alternatively around the back. Pull the belly in. Roll the top shoulder and ribs back. And then release, top hand to the inside of the foot. We're going to pivot those right toes in 45 degrees as that knee bends. And then you're going to start to squat down and your left toes will pivot up. So if you want to see how we got there again, we're bending, pivoting, right foot, pivoting the whole left leg and squatting. For your hips, you might decide heel down and hips higher than the right knee. Otherwise, all the way hips to heel. Heel might lift or not, depending. Hands can find heart if you feel balanced. Driving elbow into the inner knee. Good. Squeezing feet together. Hands come back if you like. Find your seat. That left hand grabs your right foot, and then you're going to reach your right arm up and over to that straightened leg. You can stay, you might be able to grab the foot, or you might use a lasso to loop that foot in, or just forget about that and just stay a little higher. I like to use that bottom elbow against my inner thigh to keep rolling the top shoulder back, and then you're pressing that right knee forwards to traction. Nice, and then on an exhale, reach up and back. Hands are going to frame your right foot, and you're going to kind of use a little momentum to pick yourself up, pivot forwards, step that right foot back. Set the knees wide, uncurl the feet, back to child's pose. In our child's pose, palms are going to come together and you bend the elbows so the hands come behind your head. You're going to walk the elbows further out for a deeper stretch. Again, return to what's essential. And slowly slide your way back to table, back to downward facing dog. We'll repeat all that on the other side and spin around so you can see. Left leg rises. Exhale, knee to chest. Place that foot in between the hands. You're going to pivot. Oh, wait a second. I almost forgot. Left leg up, bend the knee, peel the hip open. Lift the inner knee as high as you can go. Relax the neck. And then knee to chest. Now we'll place the foot in between the hands and pivot. Right foot down, perpendicular. We're going to start by bringing that left elbow onto the top of the thigh, and your right arm's going to sweep alongside the ear. Should feel that pull the side body. But not only are we reaching through the hand, but also through the pinky edge of that right foot. And if you want to challenge yourself today, then that left hand finds the inner thigh. And again, you can use your elbow to roll the top shoulder back. We're not leaning into the leg anymore. We're using the side bodies to stay strong. Breathe. And then exhale, warrior two. Flip the hands, actually thumbs up, and then wrap the thumbs inside of the palms, and your forefingers go around your thumb. Just like that. And then you're reaching the knuckles to the floor so that your inner wrist, right above the thumb there, gets a tiny little stretch there. Good. And then release the hands. Reverse warrior, that going over the back leg so that right hand comes to outer thigh or outer calf. Avoid the knee. Your left arm's reaching up and over. I like to look down at the foot. Straighten the front leg. Reverse triangle. Keep pulling low belly in. Making this a side bend, not a back bend. And then exhale, slowly take that side body stretch forwards, and then hand to shin block or floor. That right arm goes vertical or alongside the ear, or might wrap behind the low back. Yogi's choice there. So from here, we're going to lower that top arm down, and then again that funky transition. So bend left knee, pivot the toes in 45, start lowering the hips. They can stay high above the knee, or they can lower all the way towards the right heel, or left heel, as your right toes pivot up. Hands find heart if you're feeling stable, and you're driving the tricep and knee together. Opening the chest, squeezing shoulder blades together. And then if you like, hands come behind you. Otherwise, you're reaching forwards, kind of counterweight and find your seat. Right hand to left ankle. Left knee opens. Left arm reaches up and then over. Your right elbow can press against the inner thigh, and you can either stay or you might be able to grab that foot. Roll the top shoulder back. Just being grateful that our bodies can move in these practices. That we can set aside a little time to reconnect with ourselves and with what's essential. And then on your exhale, imagine your best friend grabbing your hand, pulling you upright. Good. Hands are going to frame this left foot, and we're going to pivot. And then step that left foot back to plank pose. Awesome. Shift forwards, bend the elbows, slowly lower to the front body. Get the fronts of the hips, thighs, and feet anchor into the floor, and as you breathe in, pull the chest forwards and up. Your hands are pretty light. If anything, they're kind of like dragging the chest forwards. Bhujangasana. Good, and then keeping the belly full for a moment of air. You're going to set your elbows down for Sphinx Pose. If this is too much on the low back, you are welcome to inch your elbows a little further forwards like that. Otherwise, you're going to bend the right knee, and you're going to bring your left hand in front of the chest. So spin and face you here. Left hand in front of the chest, right knee's bent. Grab the foot. Squeeze that heel in. Drive the front of the hip down, not forcefully, but with some effort. Instead of sinking into that left elbow, press it down, pull the shoulder back, and keep breathing. And then switch. So we're grabbing the foot, pulling it in, and then that front of the hip wants to pop up. And so driving it down, also driving down the supporting forearm and pulling that shoulder back to level your collarbones out. Awesome, and then release. And so, from our Sphinx Pose, draw the chin to the chest or to lift bottom ribs, belly button, hips, and then curl the toes under, lift the knees. We're back in our forearm plank. Pausing here. Drive the elbows down. If we sink, the whole body feels so heavy. And so, the more effort, actually, the lighter we are. And then set the knees down and curl the toes under or not. Find a seat upright. I want to demo where we're going to go. One playful arm balance if you choose. So where we're going to start is back in this chair. Remember this. So feet are hip distance, driving the elbows into the knees. So from here, flip the palms forwards and their shoulder distance like that. Oh, here I am. So good. And then we're going to tip it all forwards and your hands are going to plant. And we're going to try to slide the knees up to the armpits like we did earlier on in our practice. You're going to do that by lifting your heels. Look forwards. Shift forwards. Your choice. Stay here or one foot lifts. Maybe that's the end of the boundaries today, and then you're just going to switch. And then you can find your seat back in Malasana. Give the hands a little circle. Just for kicks, we're going to re-enter that one more time. Maybe both feet lift off this time. And so, again, we're going to start with hips high, back in this chair, driving the chest forwards, looking forwards, palms, fingers are wide. We're going to tip forwards, the hands are going to catch. You're going to drive the hands with everything you've got into the floor and lift the heels and then shift. And then maybe one or both sets of toes. If both toes lift, you're bringing them to touch. Driving the knees and then whoop, shifting back. Either toes just land or maybe they shoot back. Chaturanga, down dog. Child's pose. Returning. If the shoulders are tired, hands can come alongside your feet. Slow the breath. And then from our child's pose, rolling up one vertebra at a time, leaning into one hip, and send your legs forwards. So have the heels a couple inches apart, so as you roll the inner thighs to the floor, the big toes come to touch. Now my feet are a little too wide. There we go. Inhale, reach the arms up. Keep spiraling inner thighs to the floor. As you exhale, fold. Hands can plant. You can grab under calves, around ankles or feet. Paschimottanasana. Breathing in, heart forwards just once. Exhale to bow and relax. Thanking yourself for finding your practice, for staying here, for immersing yourself within the moment again and again. Come to the floor. You can press your way back up, and then we're going to bend the knees, and you can find your way onto the back body. We're going to take a bridge pose, and so palms are down alongside your outer hips. Wiggle the shoulder blades together and lift the pelvis. You might hold on to the edges of the mat. You might interlace fingers. Pausing there. Breathing in bridge pose. Swagatam, Shri Ram. Swagatam, Shri Ram. Swagatam, Shri Ram. And then lower down one vertebra at a time. And so once you get there, you're going to plant the feet wide, knees rest together, still laying on the back body. Swagatam, Shri Ram. Swagatam. So feet remain on the edges of the mat. But then we're going to start swaying the knees side to side, almost like windshield wipers. To deepen this, the arms can come alongside the ears and go slowly. I invite you to close the eyes if you haven't yet. Take anything else you need before making your way into your Shavasana. If you're ready for Shavasana, then just sliding the legs out straight. If you ever have some tension remaining in the low back, using a pillow underneath both knees. Hare Free to stay in Shavasana as long as you need. If you've already, begin to wiggle fingers and toes. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And then invite you to roll over to one side. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Press your way up to find a comfortable seat. Join the palms together in front of the hearts. And if you'd like, feel free to join me in one more chant of Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And so if you'd like, sing it with me. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then one Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me in practice. I hope you feel grounded and centered. And if you would like to make a small donation, the information on how to do that is in the description below this video. And please please share, subscribe, and thank you again. Be well, yogis. Take care.